Chris Melling's a break.
Chris Melling remembered the World Championships defeat to Karl Sutton. Absolute humdinger of a game, that one. Super, super standard. They also met in the Champions League last year as well in the last 16.
Work it out. Knows this is a good chance to start with a break clearance, just like he did in the first match of the night. When does he go up for the red at the top, and what does he play on afterwards? Not sure he's straight enough to go up for it now, which would be the preference, you'd have thought. Straight enough. Looks like he's topping towards the yellow. There he was okay. Sure everybody would play the cannon there in that situation. Chris under complete control, knew what he was trying to do. Wasn't going to do any damage with position. He was just going to nudge it slightly easier for him, but it was very good, very nicely worked out all the way through.
And again, once the archetypal Chris Melling finish, and some might argue, is one that he's swinging the final ball around 7 cushions to make a cannon, but Chris would. The archetypal Chris Melling finish is one where the first 2 shots do all the legwork in the frame, and you just see it straight away and you're, oh, now it's so simple. And that ultimately is the complete art of pattern play. Chris Melling is 100% one of the greatest players to have ever played this game. His patterns are just brilliant to watch, not just because of how good they are, but how quickly he sees it.
Agreed. But the only thing you'll see from Chris over, let's just see if he's able to stay on the table. What an excellent break that was until the cue ball flew in. Power everywhere.
I mean, this split is unbelievable.
Yeah, but that. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how that cue ball's gone in. It needed, what, 3-4 kisses to go in the centre pocket. I was watching the 8 ball fly around the table thinking, well, he's going to have a great chance here if this 8 ball stays up anyway, but if it goes in, all great. But that was quite incredible.
Yeah, brilliant split here for Chris to work with. And this is where you see the machinations of Melling's mind. You can almost hear the cogs turning. Might take a little bit longer over his first shot just to figure it out. You heard beeps there for pretty much the first time in the night, really, from Chris's perspective. But in that time, he's mapped out the entire finish. And now he can just fly through. Not everyone, for example, would leave that yellow. Like that.
Yeah, it was always, that was the only ball, wasn't it? Get on that and you're going to be out. He was also careful with the shot. He didn't overplay it.
Yeah, Chris Melling playing like he's got a cab on the rank, less than a fraction over, rather, 4 minutes played and already 2-0 in front, including racking of the balls.
Yeah, I mean he'll make tougher finishes tonight. He'll make tougher finishes in his career, but he just makes the game look easy, doesn't he? I mean, that one was you just had to get one good positional shot to get on the one down the cushion, make it, and then you were home free. But
there's a real sort of debate about who the greatest of all time is and all that sort of stuff. All we can say for sure is that Chris Melling is certainly in that conversation. But there's 2 players for me that make the game look easier than anybody else, and that is Chris Melling and Tom Cousins, slightly for different reasons. But when Chris is just flowing around, he's barely having to get down on shots, and he just does make the game look so stupidly simple, because it all just comes so easy to him.
Yeah, and they are different. The way they go about it, their patterns are different. Tom will open up the table quicker, and the first couple of shots are almost more critical, whereas Chris will always back himself and may leave solving the problem a little bit later, because he's more than comfortable to play certain types of shots or to leave certain types of shots a little bit later, because he backs that ability. But if you give him open tables like he has, this is 3 straight visits where every ball goes, it's just about putting them together, you're in for a world of trouble, because you are going to watch a player as good as Chris just connect them together on repeat.
Not really seen Chris have to delve too deep into his toolbox tonight. First frame of the night was probably his most impressive in terms of tariff. Since then, he's just played well, been sort of solid if unspectacular finishes, but he's just sort of had that clinical edge about him tonight so far. He's looked right on it for the gun.
Yeah, just he wasn't quite where he wanted to be on that one. He almost changed his mind and dealt with the right-hand side of the table before coming back and playing the shot he just played. He's just got the wrong angle to get there again. He goes a little bit further, he's getting himself behind the reds, because I think he probably wanted to pound the one on the cushion before the one in the open, but this way around works as well. You'd love to get to the top cushion here, which he'd have to absolutely load up with side, and I don't see him the reason for risking it. But if you just make the pot and get the cue ball out into the middle of the table, it looks really easy, but it can go wrong. That's why he's taking a little bit longer on this shot, just to decide where he wants and what route he wants to take to get onto the 8 ball. And he has tried to get to the top cushion. Excellent shot.
Pretty good form tonight is Chris Melling. 3 straight from the break. Karl Sutton has not had a sniff.
Yeah, and he'll feel very hard done by, because the break he hit was excellent. Okay, the cue ball was running a little bit loose, but nowhere near a pocket. He'll feel kisses later, and he's in off, and he's been as much a spectator as you and I have, Stephen. It's sometimes you just got to sit there and take it.
The only positive that you can say for Karl Sutton is there is still loads of time for 4 frames if he can keep getting the opportunities, because Chris has rattled through those finishes. Is he going to be dry again? It's tough. It's so tough. Karl Sutton may well lose this 4-0 without having a shot at the table.
Yeah, and he won't be the first player to have that happen to them in the Champions League, and he won't be the last. It's just tough when it does happen.
Karl understands the Monday night sort of rhythm, if you like, better than most. He is, a veteran of, I'll lose count now, 4 Pairs Cups finals nights, I think it is.
Yeah, he's probably up there as, probably had more Monday night appearances than any other player, certainly right up there in the top 2 or 3.
As well as a run to the last 16 last season in the Champions League. So he understands this format and how it works. He knows this can happen. He's just hoping it doesn't, and that's all you can do, is hope that it doesn't. It's out of your hands.
So is there, can you get to the potting angle of the red nearest the top right hand corner? If you can't, you've got to deal with it sooner rather than later. I don't think you can get to the potting angle, which is why I'm benching it. He killed the cue ball there because he wants to leave this half ball angle. Just come across and yellow, 3/4 ball yellow, 4 ball yellow's perfect. Don't miss it though.
Oh, now then. Maybe some hope.
Can he turn it in? He must have been playing the cannon there. Surely he wasn't playing on this ball. It can't go.
Well, we're about to find out if it does. I think you're absolutely right. There's no way this was plan A. But is he about to convince it's plan B? Because he's too thin on the red at the top left to work the cue ball back across, surely.
And we get excited when the cogs are turning for Chris Melling. What's he got for us?
Surely he's too thin. No, he was. He tried to go up and down twice. And, well, he's in serious trouble.
He is a magician, but he can't from here, surely. I mean, it's a tough hit. I mean, I know it's near a cushion, but yeah, he's got to go 2 cushions to get to it.
Just in time.
That's brilliant, because it's
Such a clever shot.
The reason I'm saying he can't surely is because you know what he's like. He wants to try and find a way to make it, but that's exactly how he played it, is how it's come out. He wasn't trying to make it, he was just trying to put Karl in a tough spot to give himself another opportunity to potentially kick at it or do something with it.
Chris is straight away on this. He thinks he can make this. 2 cushions, thin contact. He fancies this.
Working out his systems.
Yeah, a little bit of parallel shift. That seems to go close. And he wasn't a million miles away. It's never a question of if he hits the ball, it's whether he makes the pot, which off 2 cushions is so silly. But he is one of the best ever at those kinds of shots.
The worst thing about this is for Karl, he just wants an opportunity to go and win the frame quickly, and you know, that's another minute taken off the clock there because you know he's had to play a shot and then Chris is going to play another shot. He's still, you know, Karl is a huge favourite for the frame, but it's killing the clock.
He just gets his line wrong, just slid a fraction on him.
Yeah, and that little bump on the yellow rather than the red means the yellow actually goes now with ball in hand. So now go and win the frame for Karl Sutton.
It's the first pot Karl's been able to play a long match. If anybody knows about playing a perfect game and not quite getting over the line, well, Karl Sutton knows all about that. Karl knows he has to go at pretty much full speed here if he's to have any chance. And he knows it's not over. I mean, a draw wouldn't be the end of the world for Karl Sutton. He doesn't necessarily need to win all 4 frames, but he's just desperate to have some kind of result. Just finished dead straight on this yellow, so just eyeing up the 8 ball before he takes it on. He's not going to be able to move the cue ball much off the cushion here. Doesn't get greedy, just accepts it. This is his first frame in the match. Good shot, good finish from Karl. It's tough to sit there and take the punishment, to then spring out of your seat, force yourself into playing well, but that was very well taken. Chris will feel it's a missed opportunity.
Yes, but a couple of really good kick shots, and he used the clock really well. You know, the beeps, he was right down to the wire on every shot there at the, you know, when he was kicking at it from snookers. That's a good couple of minutes gone off the clock, but
yeah, and that wasn't by coincidence.
no,
either.
absolutely by design, completely.
3 frames to 1.
You know, he talks about Chris putting time into the match so often by how quickly he can finish his clearances, but that was definitely a case of
15-second shot
I
clock
have got a
in play.
match to win here. Use all my time on these shots. Brilliant break again from Chris here, and this is a fabulous opportunity to go and win the match.
Yeah, it really is. It's always eye-catching when you park the cue ball. It's good to watch. It really is. It's what Chris tries to do.
Very, very tough skill to master, but he's very, very good at it.
This is as good as it gets. Would like to have been straight in left centre. Shouldn't pose too much of a problem for him. He was just a touch short on the previous shot, which is why he had to play that one with side. It just made it slightly trickier to get there. But we are clutching because he was still perfect. So.
Very difficult man to stop when he's in this kind of form, and he's getting the opportunities required. He's getting all 5 first chances in this match, and he took 4 of them. Super performance from the magician. Karl Sutton is shut out of that match, and Chris Melling is 1 step away from a spot in the last 16. Karl Sutton gets comfortable because he'll stay out there. He's got a match to go and win himself. It's not all over for him, but he does need to find a win next.